Scorpio, how you doing? This is your Astroflower channel, and we are going to be doing a reading for the month of February. If you don't know much about the Astroflower, please do go down in the descriptive of this video, and you'll find a lot of links, and some of them to introductory videos. There's 3 of them that help you to understand the petal system, the elements and the qualities that go into making up the Astroflower and your Astroflower in particular, and how they combine with all the other things that are around us, including the universal vibration and stuff like that we go into on Cymatic TV, which is also linked down there, our sister channel, where we do energy updates and see how the sun and the earth is affecting your chakras and your aura. So please do go into the descriptive and explore. It'd be good to see you about. In the meantime, subscribe and click that bell so you get future notifications on all the readings that we do once a week on this channel. Okay, so let's just go in, and we're going to be doing... So we're going to be using the petal system of the Astroflower. So we're going to be using the 4 tiers of the petals. So this is the first week, second week, third week, fourth week. We'll also be combining the karmic path on the spiritual and on the material front, and just see how your guides and that are just trying to influence your pathway as you go along. Okay, so let's just go into this straight away. I've got 2 cards there, so I'm going to take the pair of them. Okay, so they can actually play hand in hand, those two cards. This is very clear at the moment in your first week. Path, two halves here, really. 2 halves here. Let's see what's going on there. Oh, look. And then the second week, definitely a real change coming in. This is really quite good for you guys. 2 cards wanting to come out again. You're going to get a pair of them. I'm being so generous with you at the moment, Scorpio. It's unbelievable. Yeah, and on your material sense, there's a definite work thing going on. Okay, that is a 5 of Cups sort of scenario. And this is the outcome in the 4th week, so you might be a little bit disappointed. I think it's going to be disappointed in the speed of it. That's what it looks like to me. So let's just have a look what's going over the first 4 weeks. So the first sort of 4 weeks, seems like you're in a situation where on the material front, it could be enjoying the project or business that you're going to be working in or doing within your life. Could be down to building houses and etc. But there's definitely a sort of community factor going on with the universe trying to encourage that amalgamation. Where did that word come from? Getting involved in the community around you, yeah, on the material path, and actually enjoy getting involved and then meeting people and just getting out there, especially after the last 2 years we've had. And on your karmic path, you've got that sort of start of a journey, a love journey, but it's on the material side. So, I think it's going to be more a case of, falling in love with what you do. And I think I did in your reading, in your weekly reading last week, was just sort of like say, throw caution to the wind. And this sort of comes through here on this sort of side. On the material front. So on this spiritual sort of front, you've got the 4 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So almost 2 completely conflicting vibrations being offered by the universe here, because the universe is like that. They don't want to make it simple, do they? If they did make it simple, it would be really boring. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, Scorpio. But so basically it's sort of saying you might have gone through a period that's been pretty difficult for you emotionally. It's time to go for healing. But actually healing for some people can actually be doing things. And this might be a case for you. And in order to do those things, your karmic mission for this month is putting in place those boundaries, those healthy boundaries, so you don't get invaded by the world outside. So your emotions don't get overrun by the world outside, which they tend to do at the moment. Everybody's got something to say about your pathway, you know what I mean? It's terrible. You know, keep your garden clean on your side, I guess, is the story about that. And that's what that Nine of Wands is asking you to do this month, is to, you know, and that healthy barriers, and I think it was you I spoke to about this, Scorpio, that healthy barriers may be that idea of sort of saying, I want to have fun and I'd like to share it with other people. If you don't want to have fun doing that, then fine, fair enough, but just go ahead and do it, you know. And that might be sort of like that person there, if, you know, or that group of people or whatever might not necessarily be very benevolent to you, sort of, and helping you out, so they may be pretty negative to you at this present time. Doesn't necessarily mean they're negative people. It just means the vibration they are putting out, or what they want out of life, may not resonate with your very good selves. So being patient in the next week, because something's definitely going to come in and change. And on the material side, it's the start of a journey of that's emotion. So it's reflecting that sort of Ace of Cups there. So in the second week, you'll feel like you're really starting to move on a journey. And as you move on that journey, other people are going to be starting connecting to it. So actually working well together. You've done your work, you're working well and working with other people. Yeah. In order to do that correctly, you have to be patient with the journey. You know, sometimes the journey does take a bit of time and to put into place. And if you can build that patience within you, then you can then free yourself up. So if you're impatient for something to happen, you're going to be concentrating on it. And the thing is, you'll spend a lot of time concentrating on it rather than doing other stuff. If you're patient about it and say, okay, so it may not turn up for the next sort of month, therefore I've got free time and spare time to do other things and I don't have to worry about it. And I think that's what it's sort of saying here, especially because you've got the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess just afterwards. And the Queen of Wands is, she's a very fast moving queen. She's very passionate about things, gets very excited about things, and is ready to, she's got a real get up and go sort of energy. But seeing clearly, this is why the High Priestess came out with that, because you don't want to just run around like a headless chicken, do you now? So that sort of wise inner vision, I think, comes from the healthy boundaries that you're going to put in place. As the universe is sort of saying, yeah, take healing, take time out, but when it kicks off, it kicks off. And I think it's going to kick off in the next month, to be honest. But it's sort of saying it's on its way, it's on its way. It's almost like an encouraging sign more than anything else. In the meantime, take care of yourself, take it easy, enjoy life. That's what it's sort of saying. And if you're going to start on that journey there, and then when you mix with other people, I would say, normally that's a card of disappointment, yeah. But I don't think it's being disappointed in other people. I really do think it's being disappointed that maybe that journey is not going as quickly as you would so desire. I think it's it's maybe not going as quickly as you desire, and it might be you that's actually slowing it down. Maybe you've got to learn about your barriers, and sometimes I meet people and it's obvious when they just say they got a problem with no. They don't know how to say no to someone. And some people, what I mean by that, they've got a problem with the no, doesn't necessarily mean they don't know how to say no, but more of a question of, they say no too much. And that might be slowing you down a bit. And that might create that bit of disappointment at the end of the month as regards to the path, but it doesn't seem to be stinting, because that is what is in within you. Your overall energy is the Ten of Pentacles. So you've got all the resources by the looks of it. Everything is at your hand. And if you're, in this week here, if you've gone out and experienced life, and that could be that sort of free time of that Knight of Swords, that free time to actually experience and explore different avenues of your life in the spiritual front. Work seems to look like it's going to look after itself. The other reason which it could be is putting your expectations a little bit too high. I don't think that's the case, but it could well be. Be realistic as well. More a case of being realistic of what other people, are capable of doing. Not necessarily doing physically, but of just capable of being, So it's much better for you to go down to a child's level rather than bring the child up to your level. So it's that sort of scenario there that sort of seems to be playing out. Ace of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Now, I was going to bring it out, but I wanted to go into the clarification first. So we're going to be just clarifying these sort of connecting weeks, as it were, between the two, and what's the influence between the two. Coming up, Lovers. Maybe that's what was causing the heartache. Yeah. And then the Queen of Wands is what it's trying to encourage you to do with that Knight of Swords. Yeah. Healthy boundaries, fair exchange. Six of Pentacles. So basically, it's just reiterating what we were saying. It's like, you really can't make it up. It's absolutely brilliant. Let's see what's going on between this week on the material sort of side. Temperance, playing opposite. This is really amazing. So, that patience in your spiritual side has got to come through all the way into your material side of your life, Okay? Eight of Swords. Now, that's a bit of a curveball, isn't it? When we mix with other people and get involved in the community, it often has a moment where we judge ourselves. And it might be a case of don't get caught up in illusions and, that's coming through. It might dispel some of your illusions because it doesn't ring with everything else. So I think it's more of a case of you might have a few aha moments in your life. And if you do have those aha moments, it's going to free you up because you'll be able to kind of like stop doing things that, were causing you pain in the neck, and actually move on to what could be actually love. So let's see the connection between that following week and the one after it. The Seven of Swords. Well, it comes up with the Eight of Swords over there. So that sort of seems like there's something definitely going on there. And the Two of Pentacles. So being wise. And I think this is the patience as well. It's like wanting to go faster. This is it. So wanting to head off on this journey really quickly with the Ace of Cups. And it's sort of saying to you, be patient about this. And as you've got to be patient about this, choose. You've got the Two of Pentacles going to the Three of Pentacles. It's very progressive stuff here. And, it's a case of choosing where to put your time and energy into. I think that's really important. I'd like to connect this here to the High Priestess as well. When you look clearly and have that understanding of ritual or religious or human rights sort of aspect, and you sit within that power, you can keep you utterly clear in your mind, so you can avoid that card there, or you could limit it. There's no doubt about it, because I think that might come in from our own self, and I think it's got a connection with that. and with that. So I didn't go into that. So being patient on that side has got a bit of sort of deception as well. And I think that's a deception of oneself. And that's running across there because you've also got the temperance connecting it there and that fair exchange and everything like that. So it might well be that the two worlds are connected. That, you know, your material world and your love world is, emotional world is connected. And it's, don't be delusional to yourselves by the looks of it, more than anything else, of delusional from the world outside, you know, because you'll set yourself up for a fall, and that's the last thing you want to do, you know, Scorpio. You know, and you got the Five of Pentacles at the top. Real conflictual sort of clarifications here on that. And then you got the King of Cups that sort of brings you through. So this is definite. Okay, so what could happen here is you know, if you're not having a good hard look at yourself, when you connect with other people and start working with other people, you might get a slight feeling of disappointment in regards to, I've worked loads and you don't seem to be putting in the effort sort of scenario. You know, those are the sort of things that could boil up to the surface. If you're under that illusion, that's going to happen if you're under that illusion. So it might be just here, if you deal with those illusions, or if you deal with that with your expectations at the beginning and set up those boundaries, those healthy boundaries as it were, you will neutralize that a little bit. So when you get to in 4 weeks time, you get back to that idea of it actually being, you're disappointed that you didn't, the path, you know, the journey of life is not going quicker than you want it to go. And you'll be kind of like, I want it to go quicker, but you know, patience is a virtue. You know, take it from a lawless. It's the motto of our royal family. So connecting the lower part and the beginning and the beginning of the month and second of the month is opportunities through the devil. He's going to bring gifts. He's the bearer of light. So he gives you the direction. Don't follow the light. Use it to guide you on your path, so you can see clearly on your path and choose wisely, you know. Okay? And the connection between the two is going through that portal. I think this is bringing you, I think this month here, what it's doing is stripping down certain ideas that you might have had in the past, or ideas about yourself that you were capable of doing which are non-founded, and you're going to realize you can actually do a lot more in your life. And that, at the end of the month, you're going to be able to go through a portal, so you're no longer disappointed with yourself, saying, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Because half of the time it's probably you who's blocking yourself from doing things, you know, not the outside world. And once you get over it and you start saying, I can do it, then all of a sudden you can go through that portal and you can be in that next paradigm and actually start working in groups with other people and have that fair exchange within your life and feel spiritually fulfilled and rewarded, because that's what you're going to be getting, the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so there is a bit of work, Scorpio. I think you're very, very capable of doing it. It's the aspect of realizing it and making those changes and then just going out there and living, which might be the difficult part. And so, in that case, Scorpio, once you've subscribed and clicked the bell on this channel, don't forget, you know, it should be fun. Okay? So please do enjoy.